Hey everyone. I'm just making a update video because people have been asking a lot of questions and I have a lot of updates about information from spirits because I always want to tell you guys what's going on and how everything has changed so far. Well, I don't really know where to start, but I guess I'll start with broken props that are broken at spirits right now. Because I know I already told you guys that I fixed both of the gruesome grannies when they broke. And the jumping spider broke, the one that was by the door with the high pitch sound. The spring snapped off, and I'm guessing the reason it snapped off is because it was turned off in its box all year when it was in the laying position. And I told you guys that if you have it laying for so long, it's going to jump slow or it's going to break the springs later on. So yeah, you definitely want to keep them up in standing position when you turn them off. Same with the jumping ones and the pop-up ones. Because when I get my new Poppin' Goblin, you're going to see... Are you serious? Sorry about that. When I get my new Poppin' Goblin, you're going to see that it's not going to really jump at all. Because, you know, when they're in their box, they're like this until someone buys it. That's not a good thing at all. What do you think's happening to the springs as it's being held down? They're just getting pushed in. It's not going to jump anymore. My new one is only going to jump like this much. That's it. That's all it's going to do. Because it's been pushed down like this too long, and it's still like that. This is the second year it's been in the box. It was a display. It's sort of breaking because when it comes out it shakes, but I think it might be a gear or something. But I'm trying my last attempt for a Poppin' Goblin. Anyways, I got off subject again. So yeah, the spider broke, and I have, you know, that broken jumping spider I got from Spirits last year for free? The one with the motor that burned out that wasn't jumping. Well, I took those springs to Spirits, and I'm going to use those extra springs to fix that one. And it'll be back up and working again. I put a replacement spider out, and the life sentence, as you can see, I always have to push the arms to make it shake, and the cloth behind it is ripping down so you can just see the fog machine and stuff. But it's not a gear breaking on it, because if it was gear, it would have probably broke completely by now by the way you have to push it to get it working. It's just the motor dying. And I sort of want to buy that because it's the last one and they are discontinued now. Grave Mourner is still up and working there. Chain to the Grave, I have had no problems with him. I returned that Chain to the Grave last year and got that one. Because when I got it, I thought the mouth broke. I guess the batteries were just a little low. But still, it didn't close all the way and it bothered me. But I might get it back, but I probably won't. The only way I'll get it back is if they give me more free props. And guys, I don't even think that's happening at all this year. That was probably a one-time thing. Because that's so unusual. And also the Miss Fortune Teller, her mouth is broken on the skeleton side of her face, or the zombie side, whatever that face is. It doesn't move on that side, but it moves on her human side. At first, I think a spring just snapped that holds her mouth open, because, you know, YJ, their mouths are supposed to be open when they're not talking, and when they're talking, their mouth closes instead of opens. It's sort of weird, because, like, I'll use Tyler for an example. If this was YJ, the mouth would be like this. If it was talking, it would do this. Yeah, that's a little weird. But yeah, I think it was the spring that broke in the mouth, because the mouth still moved, but now, even when I pull the mouth down, it won't go at all. The gear is broke now. And Dead Humor is still working. Blade Bake of Jokes is still working. Silent and Deadly has been sort of slowing down for a while already. Like almost right away when we opened. His motor is dying. he won't turn this way to the left. It gets is the more and more you push it though, the faster it gets though. But it's going to eventually die, the motor, since it's doing that. And I already told you guys that the thrashing clown is broken, sort of. There's a gearbox in there. There's supposed to be a piece that's held down by a screw, and it's snapped off. So now it's just wiggling freely. The shaking mechanism that makes the clown thrash. So it's moving around freely. The clown still thrashes, but not the way it's supposed to. And if you want to see it, it's in my last Spirit video I made. But what do you think is going to happen if that thing's moving around freely? All the wires are going to rip off the motor. The rest of the plastic pieces that are connected to it are going to snap off as well. Because there's still 2 more plastic pieces that are connected to it, which is why the clown is still thrashing even though that piece is broken. But eventually, since it's pulling like that or moving freely, that's going to cause damage. That's going to rip the wires off, and it's going to break the rest of the plastic that's holding it from making the clown thrash. Then it won't thrash at all. The Sickening Reaper, he hasn't been talking since like the 5th day we opened. Yeah, it's sort of weird. That's sad. And the Skeeves the Butler, the big one, I told you that we rearranged the Haunted Mansion now. You know how the Pumpkin and the Sickening Reaper were on the same display as the Granny, Butler, and Cemetery, or the Grave Watcher? Well, he looked in the book and he saw that it was Ron, so he flipped it around to the other side. So now the Pumpkin and the Sickening Reaper are just standing there together, not with any other props, like it was originally supposed to be. And the Talking Cherubs are on the other side now. Same with the other props. But anyways, that Skeeves the Butler, my boss didn't even touch him, and he fell off the display, and his body snapped off. He set up a new one, but he couldn't. There's a problem with Skeeves the Butler's heads. Have you noticed how when you put the head on, they're hanging upside down or on the side? Well, that head had a problem, and I couldn't fix it. He got so frustrated, he said, "Screw it. I'll wait till Jordan gets here to fix it." And I saw that, and I asked him, "Is the head on the one in the back still good? Because we can just switch the heads, because that one head was just perfect." So I just went back there, checked it out. Sure enough, it was perfect. So I put the old one's head on the new one's body and made it one good piece. So yeah. But that's really weird. I don't like those spring heads now because they don't go on right. The Talking Cherubs, as those broke on the 3rd day we opened, they stopped talking to each other. Like when they talk, they'll just automatically stop and just stay off for a little bit. There's a wire coming off on the inside, and I don't know if I can fix those ones. They have a lot of latex around them. There's no screws. You have to just rip it, and that's not a good thing. And so I don't think that'll happen. And I told you guys that we have a second convulsing nurse for display. I don't even know how in the world we got that. That was not supposed to be there, but we don't know if it's supposed to be set up yet or if it got sent to the Ron Spirit location. One of them, I think, did get sent to the wrong place. And I told you the second gruesome granny in the asylum got taken away because some kid tripped on her power strip and cord. Obvious. Goofing around. Oh yeah, we got the Atmosphere FX TV in. So it's playing those Atmosphere videos, and only 100 spirits are getting those. And there's 2,000 stores probably, and only 100 is getting them, and we're the lucky ones, one of the lucky ones to get that. I put a fog machine in the asylum where creepy caretaker, jumping rat, and wheelchair psycho are. It looks really cool. I just wish there was another wheel or fog machine in the one with pop-up zombie, medium boy, sweeney girl, and Rosemary. That one would look really cool too. We have a total of like 5 fog machines up now, but at first, I thought the one that was connected to Life Sentence was broken because all it would do is vibrate. It wouldn't blow fog, but then it just heated up more and it started working. But that fog machine had a problem with it all along. It's leaking. That's why it's, and that's not a good thing. It's probably going to short out something. I mean, the fog is just leaking out of the fog machine. It's just making a flood of water on the display or liquid. And that's not a good thing. It's just leaking as it's blowing. And then the other fog machine that was the first one I used with Chained to the Grave is the one that broke. I don't know how much more there's to say. I haven't fixed that broken monkey chimes yet. I think and I recorded that monkey chimes break in my first video I ever made of 2013. The things don't. He doesn't move his arms. I think a gear or rubber belt broke. It's always obvious. It's always one of those two. It's because what else could it be? It's not the wire or the motor because the motor's still going.